Boys and girls, stay on the dance floor. Here comes the hottest tune of the day, and it started right here in Baltimore. That's me in the sky. Like losing my religion.
A liner, and the Orioles are the world champions.
To reveal Matt and this chick standing there. She's kind of like,
Hey, turn that off. Turn that off. Come on.
Rose and Henry had my dad in Baltimore, Maryland in 1971, a few years after her son Asher. My dad grew up in the city of John Waters and Cal Ripken. They lived in the house with witches on the shutters and spent their time listening to Minor Threat and Bad Brains while they walked around video stores and stole hubcaps. Baba Rosa, as she liked to be called, was a textbook hippie who told her sons they didn't need TV when they had the window. Organic television. My grandpa, Papa Jam, was a psychiatrist who liked physics and poetry and named my dad Maccabee in case anyone dared to question his Jewishness. After dinner, before the divorce, the brothers and their dad would watch a movie. Steve Martin, Mel Brooks, and my dad would watch Asher and Papa Jam to know when to laugh. They sent their kids to Park High School, where they practiced being pretentious and doing acid. One came more naturally than the other. For college, my dad moved to New York and went to film school at NYU. After his first year, though, it was too expensive, and he was forced to drop out. Asher convinced him to come to LA, join him and their cousin Aaron. They could pick up girls and write scripts, the next Coen brothers or some shit. There, they listened to Mudhoney and Dinosaur Jr. and lied their way into a job driving trucks across California. It was the 90s. My dad bought this coat on a trip to San Francisco. Anything was possible. I know my dad pretty well. He has really good taste in movies and music and clothes. He knows a lot about R.E.M. and the Replacements, and he loves Bob Dylan as much as I do. Or I guess I love Dylan as much as he does. Growing up, I didn't even have a choice. His fondness for things seeped out of him with such passion that it splashed onto me in every conversation. He cares deeply about dishware, William Blake, and the perfect shade of green. He's really good at giving people the benefit of the doubt. He likes to send cold emails that come in hot after reading a book and having an acute strike of inspiration. He always stops to talk to people. I act annoyed when he asks the pizza delivery guy where he gets his haircut, because I know it means we won't eat for another 30 minutes. But really, I'm just jealous. I'm jealous of his confidence, his curiosity. My dad isn't really afraid of anything, except roller coasters. Back in LA, the window that was once a television set has been shattered by the bullet that tore through Asher's aorta and lung. Asher Montandon, my dad's brother, died at 24. Una, my big sister, goes to school in Berlin now. We talk semi-frequently, but if someone were to ask me what she's doing, I think I could guess it exactly. A stew boils on the stove while she does yoga. The plums she bought earlier sit next to her bag that carries a book or three. She'll always be the older, cooler sibling who influenced the younger to no end. We get along most of the time, and when we fight, she always wins because she's older and cooler and better with her words. But it's okay, because I'm better at apologizing, and I know I can be a bit of a brat sometimes. Dad's really good at apologizing, too. It's probably because Asher would always win the fight. Maybe my dad's too good at apologizing. Maybe he's too good at giving people the benefit of the doubt. Dad never really cared to find the man that shot Asher. He says he never really felt vengeance in his veins. He didn't think much about justice, just about Asher. He moved out of LA as soon as he could. My dad describes Asher as a lot of things, the list of things that only irritate a brother or sister. Like dorky jokes, too loud squawk of a public laugh, his OCD-like finger-sniffing habit, the way he stretched his arm, his Grateful Dead bootlegs, his insistence on making and standing by claims he knew so hard were not true, impossible. Una has the same insistence. I have the same OCD. Asher couldn't stand the way my dad ordered at restaurants, like a meek squirrel unable to make eye contact with the waitress, his arm wrapped around his torso like some sort of avant-garde dance. I didn't know that. I thought that was my thing. I make relentless fun of my dad for the way he talks to the waiter. A shy preschooler, barely audible, his arm wrapped around his torso like some sort of avant-garde dance. It frustrates me to no end, like any unexplainable familial annoyance, but he always just laughs in response. I guess because I'm his daughter and he thinks anything I say is funny. I guess because it reminds him of Asher. Asher and I would have had a field day with my poor dad. In high school, my dad read Paul Auster and played soccer. He sometimes worked for the school's radio station. In high school, my Uncle Asher made a short film, designed largely to eviscerate the headmaster, whose real name was Dr. F. Parvin Sharpless. Asher considered him a buffoon, a blowhard, and possibly actually evil. Somehow, overachieving with his casting, Asher convinced a popular history teacher to play Sharpless in the movie. The character's name was, in case there was any doubt what Asher was up to, Dr. Bluntmore. He cast my dad as the movie's daring hero. My dad gave me all this stuff. He gave me this laugh and this love for Bob Dylan, these books, my movies, my love for the perfect shade of green. It's pretty easy to trace qualities in a person back to their parents, but some things remain more of a mystery. My hatred for Dad's inability to order at restaurants, or how I like to cast him as the lead in my dumb movie, that's from Asher. I guess it's hard to know for sure, though. Hard to know what other parts of me I owe to Asher. Impossible to know. At least, Asher and I both know my dad can be a bit of a diva in front of the camera. On May 24th, Bob Dylan's birthday, my friend Sylvia and I like to go out and buy one of his records or a shirt or something. It's also Asher's birthday. Asher, who believed wholly in my dad, who pushed my dad, who told him to move out to Los Angeles when NYU became too expensive. In LA, they worked on scripts. They would be the new Coen brothers or some shit. Una pushed me. She told me to take the chance. Go to NYU. Don't follow her to Berlin. Berlin can wait, she said. We'll go to Berlin later. Don't let this pass you by. There's an unspoken familial language in all of us. Even though Asher and I will never be able to bond over Dad's impatience or surprising athleticism, there is something beautifully arcane about family. Or at least, this family. Luckily, because I hold my dad, and in turn Asher, in everything I do, luckily, Asher never goes out of style.